Oh, what a slugfest. It has been a long, long day, and I'm gonna tell you, I am there, but I am still behind. But I did get the soundboard situation. I'm not. Oh, I see. They're touching because they're crossed. Okay, don't look at that. All right, here we go. Here we go. Okay, that's a 1.5 watt amplifier with the chuff sound. Now I have two other sounds in there. I do have a steam whistle and I have a bell, but I don't have a trigger for them. We're thinking, okay, we're working on triggers so that we can get all three sounds. But as you can see from the old Lionel board, which is actually old. I mean, it is not made anymore. You can't get them. Nobody has them. And when they go, they go. And that's what happened. So this is state of the art. I can get them about the same price. I was getting this for 30, then it went up to 40. I can get this brand new for 30. And it's a wiring nightmare for me because I'm not very well, my eyes are bad and I can't see small things, and boy, these wires are so tiny, but it doesn't take very much power, so it doesn't need a big wire, but it works, it fits. Let me turn the power off and we'll kind of do a little walk around. As you can see, there's quite a bit of gap. You can see my hand on the other side. There's airspace for cooling. I've added some pretty bulky connectors, but that was what I had that I could make work, so I did it. And we have extended these out a little more so I can trim them back or give them more service loop or whatnot. My motor drive wires are still, in my mind, short, so I'm going to probably put these on a connector and bring them in with some black extensions and try to make the underneath piece nicer for all of us, a little easier to plug and unplug and keep it out of the way. I did have this over on the track, and I pushed it around, making sure that it would make the turns and do everything it was supposed to, and it did. It played beautifully, and it played with the track beautifully. Let me put it that way. The coupler is at the right height, and it triggers properly. I have not tried the coupler up to the ash pan because I have a new ash pan, and it has some clearance issues with the trailing truck. There's a little corner that corner right there where my fingernail is, right at the tip of my thumb. I don't know if you can see it very well, but that corner, I got a radius adder, cut that off. Same one over here. When the wheel swings over, the frame that it's on bangs into that corner. Just taps it, but I want to get it out. I don't want anything to cause us a problem. So I'm going to trim that, and then I'll go change it on the print, and I'll have to print a new one. So the good news is the soundboard is in. I found a really nice speaker, but unfortunately it's the only one. I have to look for more like it. Put it in the box. It works terrific. The fan was on. I don't know if you saw that or not. Oh, I turned the power off. Okay. Smart thing to do. Anyway, the fan was running. The fan gets his power right there. So we have the fan working. We have the chuff working. The power coming out for the puff and chuff is there. I got to add a terminal. The power coming out for the smoke heater is there. It needs a terminal. And the power for the motor is coming out, but it needs to be lengthened. So, okay, but they're there, right? I mean, the power is there, the tender, the wiring. These two wires are hanging out just because they're not terminated. But if you look at the wiring, this wire here needs a little tuck in somewhere, but I'll work on that. But everything else is pretty tidy. You know, it has some service loops. I could have been shorter, but you know, you still need to have your fat finger going in there and plugging it in, so you can't have everything real tight like that. But the sound system is wired. That's the first one that I've wired using the low temperature flux and the low temperature solder. It's a new thing for me. I'm not a dainty person, so I'm not used to being careful like that. So I'm kind of a blobby, you know, you can kind of see I kind of blob stuff sometimes. This stuff, you may not blob it. It's not good for it. And so I had to be careful. Any rate, we got it. The other thing I can show you is over here, way over there on the printer. And this I want to say, I don't know that you can even buy these anymore, but this is a Creality 10S Pro V1. It's the first version. They're coming out version 2, I think, now, but this is not new. I bought it used. It was a store return. I took a shot, right? Had a big discount on it. It's fine. But you know, I've made some updates, like the screen and the computer that's inside. There's a Pi 4 in there. I've got Clipper running on the operating system for controls, and I have direct drive, dual cooling fans, extra struts for strength. It's amazing. It's just doing the job. It's nothing outrageously fancy. It's an old, big machine. I did put linear rails on here, but it is just a tank. I sometimes get it out of tune. I get in trouble and I have to call my buddy Andy, and he straightens me out. God bless him. But I have to say, if you see a CR10S Pro for sale, and they're guys, oh, I'm moving on, I'm tired of it, or I can't make it work, at a deal, I mean a deal like 100, 200, 300 bucks, they're worth it. This thing has been a tank, and I am nuts about it. What you're seeing is a little scary, because I think I can better show it here if I get this out of the way. Yes, I put almost all the tender parts on one print. Yeah. So this is the upper and lower chassis. That's the body. These are the pivot trucks and the lids for the pivot trucks, and the what? Oh, there they are. Size only one, yeah. And the pivot pins. So this is the mechanical assembly of the chassis. Don't have the adapters for the boards, but this is the chassis parts. So you could assemble the wheels, put the trucks on the frame, glue the frame together, put the run the wires, and you could fit the body and make sure that's all good, and you'd have a tender. And so what I'm doing is I'm printing that. Since I have the size, see how big this thing is? I can print this all on one plate, at one time. So it's got 4 hours to go, which would be 10 o'clock. So this has been about a 9-hour print. I know it's probably not what everybody wants to do with their life, but I'll tell you what, when you get these parts and you've designed them right and you know they work, it's pretty doggone exciting. And I'm excited. This is going to come out really nice. This is for engine number 2. And then we'll be moving on to engine number 3. I mean, if tomorrow's not a bad day, I could start that print in the morning and have it done by the end of the day. So I'd have all the 3 engine tenders ready for assembly. And the engines, you know, are partially assembled. And so that's the fun thing. Okay, at any rate, that's what was done. I have to say, this wiring is really tough. Tough for me, and but it's gonna be okay. So there's the engine, there's the tender. We need to get these plugs, need to get the connectors set up. That'll be tomorrow. And we just did the chuff test, and fan works, and so we got power to that. I didn't measure the power coming out of the motor, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be what we need. It was the other day, and I haven't done anything to it, so there you go. I did find a rub on a wire. It had a little bit of exposed inside, so I've insulated that. Oh my God, it's 5:45. I gotta run. Margaret's up there, and she is gonna be hot. All right, later, gang.